Hi, so today's video is going to be about the one and only testimony that means everything to me. Everything to me. The one reason that I love God so much. People probably wonder why does she talk about God so much? Why does she talk about Jesus so much? Why is she a Jesus freak? Why is she a Bible thumper? Why? Well, here is the reason why. 6 years ago today, well, the surgery was today, but 6 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer at the age of 30, and it was really, really hard to hear, and it was really hard to get through. And then a month later, I found out I was pregnant. Immediately, I can't even explain the emotions that go on when you hear the word cancer and pregnant. It's just, think about your worst day. Just think about your worst day that you've ever had, or the worst thing that's ever happened to you, and probably compare it to that. Yeah, that was hard, and trying to get through it, and then going to the doctor and hearing the doctor say that you can't have this baby, you have to have an abortion. There is no way that baby is going to make it through this surgery that you have to have. So you don't have a choice. You have to get an abortion. And I was like, I can't. I'm not going to kill an innocent baby. I can't do that. I don't have that in me. I'm not that person. And me and Dennis were on the same page. It wasn't happening. It was just not happening. And we went to, we had to go see maternal fetal medicine. And before we went in, we had to go have an ultrasound done. And Dennis kept saying, don't look at the screen. Shelly, don't look at the screen. We don't know what's going to happen. And I couldn't help it. I just looked at the screen. I'm like, I don't know. I had to look. And maternal fetal medicine told us that it's not like it can't happen. It's not that the baby will definitely not make it. It is an obstacle, but there are definitely ways around it. We will use the least amount of dyes as possible, medicine as possible. We will keep you under the least amount of time as possible, and it should all work out. And I remember this day like so well. I remember laying in bed and not wanting to get up, and I was just like, I just can't do this. I can't face this day. I don't want this to happen. Of course I wanted to get the cancer out of me, but did I want to leave the hospital with just me and not the baby? No, I didn't want that. So I went in, and they're hooking me all up to all the machines that I needed to be hooked up to have the surgery. And a woman, I thought she was a nurse, came in, and she used the portable heart monitor thing, and she was listening to the baby's heartbeat. And she's like, we will not be hooking you up to the fetal heart monitor during the surgery, because if something happens to the baby, there's nothing we can do. Your pregnancy, you're too soon in your pregnancy. We would not be able to save the baby. And I was only 13 or 14 weeks. I can't remember exactly. That was heartbreaking. And she said, but the first thing you hear when you come out, it will be that baby's heartbeat. I will make sure that's the first thing that you hear. And I was like, okay, that's reassuring. And we thought she was a nurse, but she turned out to be a doctor. Her name was Ariel. And at that time, we didn't even know if we were going to be having a boy or a girl. And we just both looked at each other and were like, wow, we really like that name. If we have a girl, we're going to name her Ariel, which is crazy because Ariel has red hair and blue eyes. And probably thinks she's named after the Little Mermaid, but she's not. And I will tell her that when she gets older. But yeah, so I remember being very, very emotional. My mother was there. She was very emotional. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go in the room. I didn't want to face what I was about to face. And I was obviously more scared for the baby. I didn't really care about the cancer at that point. I just wanted the baby to come out. And they gave me something to calm me down because I was about to lose it. And they said, we can give you something to stop you from getting upset. And I was like, okay, they did. And when I came out, the first thing I heard was her heartbeat. It was the most amazing sound I've ever heard in my entire life. It was the worst and the best day I've ever had combined. I have to honestly say that. And then after that, it was just like smooth sailing. Like I had to stay in the hospital, I think, for like 2 nights, and I lost a little bit of weight, but then I was able to gain it back, and everything was just, it was just great. It turned out that I was more focused on her throughout the whole pregnancy than hearing the word cancer. I didn't even care about it. I didn't even think about it. And before I went in for the surgery, I thought there was a God, but I didn't know that God existed. I just prayed that if he was real, to help me. Just please help me be there, save this child. I don't know what to do. This is out of my hands. If you're real, just take this and help her. Please just save her. I don't care about me. I don't care about the cancer. I just save her. That's all I wanted. And like I said, emotional is like not even the word. Like I've never had to go through something like that in my life, and it was really, really hard. And after I gave my heart to Jesus, which was almost 3 years ago, I realized something that I was reading in the Bible, and as I read it, I just felt that was how God felt when I cried out to him before I went in for the surgery. And I just want to read that to you. And it's Psalm 18, 3 through 19. And it's, I called to the Lord, who is worthy of praise, and I have been saved from my enemies. The cords of death entangled me. The torrents of destruction overwhelmed me. The cords of the grave coiled around me. The snares of death confronted me. In my distress, I called to the Lord. I cried to my God for help. From his temple, he heard my voice. My cry came before him, into his ears. The earth trembled and quaked, and the foundations of the mountains shook. They trembled because he was angry. Smoke rose from his nostrils. Consuming fire came from his mouth. Burning coals blazed out of it. He parted the heavens and came down. Dark clouds were under his feet. He mounted the cherubim and flew. He soared on the wings of the wind. He made darkness his covering, his canopy around him. The dark rain clouds of the sky. Out of the brightness of his presence, clouds advanced. With hailstones and bolts of lightning, the Lord thundered from heaven. The voice of the Most High resounded. He shot his arrows and scattered the enemy. With great bolts of lightning, he rooted them. The valleys of the sea were exposed, and the foundation of the earth lay bare. At your rebuke, Lord, at the blast of breath from your nostrils, he reached down from on high and took hold of me. He drew me out of the deep waters. He rescued me from my powerful enemy, from my foes who were too strong for me. They confronted me in the day of my disaster, but the Lord was my support. He brought me out into a spacious place. He rescued me because he delighted in me. I read that and I know that's what happened. I know that's what happened. And after I gave my heart to Jesus, I found out that the enemy tried to take me out, and God said, watch what I'm gonna do. Watch. I'm gonna take that cancer and I'm gonna save that baby. You go ahead, you try to take her out. She called on me and I rescued her, and you are nothing. You are nothing. The enemy knows no more about your destiny than you do. He knew the plans that God had for me. I didn't even know them. Like I said, I thought there was a God, but did I truly, truly believe? No, I didn't. And I can admit that, and it's not okay for me to say that. I know it's not okay for me to say that, because now I know who he is, and I know I wasn't ready, and I am now, and I'm just gonna do this because I just need to get this. I just have to do it. This is very hard for me to do. This is a very emotional song. I'm probably gonna cry. I am in no way a singer. I've always loved to sing, and I've always wanted to be a singer, but I am in no way a singer. And this song was written 6 months ago, and I will never take credit for this song. God wrote this song, and he is allowing me to share his glory with what he did to whoever wants to listen to it. Whoever. Oh, this is gonna be hard. Okay. Her worst fears had come true. She didn't know what to do. Time just stood still. She hoped and prayed it wasn't real. The road ahead seemed long, and she was barely hanging on. She she had to be brave. Oh, she had to stay strong. Her life flashed before her eyes, a baby growing inside. She fell to her knees and asked, "Why me, God, why?" The road ahead seemed long, and she was barely hanging on. She had to be brave. Oh, she had to stay strong. It's not about me, God, please save my baby girl. It's not her fault. She deserves to see this world. The road ahead seemed long, and she was barely hanging on. She had to be brave. Oh, she had to stay strong. She knew God was real when right before her eyes a miracle appeared. Her baby girl survived. The road ahead was long, but God was there all along, right by her side, making her strong. Whew, that was harder than you think. Way harder than you think. But I'm not keeping that to myself. I know that it has a purpose somewhere, and it'll get where it needs to go. Wow, wicked nervous. Like I said, not a singer, not a singer, but the song and the tune, God gave them to me, and I'm not keeping them. I'm not keeping them to myself. That was his story to show his glory. And yeah, that's why I feel the way I feel about God, because he saved me more than once, way more than once. And I'm just forever grateful for everything. And like I said, today is just, it's a day that I'm never ever going to forget. And it's a day that God showed me who he was. And I'm just so thankful. So thankful. Ariel! Ariel! Be right back. Ariel, come here.
My arms and legs.
This is our miracle from God. This is our miracle. And if you have a miracle that God has given you, you need to tell people. You need to tell people who God is and what he has done for you, so they can see the things that God can do for them. All right? Have a great day. God bless. Can you say bye?
Bye.